Hey everybody, I just wanted to come in here. Hello. I wanted to speak to what is going on in the world. What? Oh, I was just saying, trying to reconnect. I'm like, no, stay here. So it's really important. I know I did an event this past weekend called Align to Your Ideal Body, Elevate to Experience Effortless Weight Loss with Ease. And as I was coming off of that, Sunday, more riots, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, it was just been really crazy, crazy times. And I don't want to not do justice by speaking to them and how they may be impacting you, how they may be impacting how you're feeling, how they may be impacting what you're eating, how they may be impacting your relationships, your energy, your moods, and your sleep, and so much that's going on. Your sleep might be disrupted. You might be needing a lot more sleep. There's a lot going on astrologically. We have another lunar eclipse. There's immense chaos going on in the world, and everyone is thriving to experience certainty. Everyone is thriving to hear leadership and to be comforted and to feel loved and peace and freedom. And our freedom feels like it's been taken away. We've put people in cages, and then the media has done nothing but elicit fear and perpetuated the belief of uncertainty within each person. And then we wonder why people are rioting and getting angry. And a few things that I want to say to that and how it may be impacting you is, one, I want you to know my heart is with you. My heart is absolutely with you. I woke up today and just started crying. It breaks my heart. It's so sad. I don't think any of us ever would have thought that this would be what we would be experiencing. And I also will come back and say that at all times, we have an opportunity to go higher, and we need to honor everything that we feel. I allowed myself to cry today, and I allowed myself to feel deep sadness in my heart, so much so that I went to sleep at like 8 o'clock last night because it just felt a lot. And it's important that we don't make ourselves wrong. It's important that you have grace and compassion during this time. It's important that you allow yourself to feel what you're feeling and to know. And many of my clients, I was talking on my Ultimate Queens group tonight, and we were really noticing that many of them were wanting to eat a lot more so because they're wanting to feel grounded. So I did a meditation with them, grounding them into the earth, grounding them into higher consciousness, into a different way, into recognizing the safety that does exist within themselves, the safety that exists within their connection to the universe, with their connection to the divine, with the connection to Mother Earth, with connection that we are all connected to something greater, and that whether or not what you choose to believe, not to bring too much of the metaphysical into this, but I am intuitive and an empath, and what I feel is so deep. And I've also received many, many messages. And here's the bottom line is, you chose this lifetime, and your soul chose this life to experience what is going on at this time. We are all being given an opportunity to rewrite our history, to create a new path for ourselves, to create a new way of being, to create a new opportunity of change, and to take ourselves higher. And this isn't, there's a lot where it's like, okay, well, use your gifts and go higher. I'm not saying to ignore what's going on in the world at all. What I'm actually saying is to feel it and to honor your experience of it, and to be okay with the anger, with the sadness, with the fear, with the joy, with the lightness, with the heaviness, with whatever it is that you're feeling. And instead of turning to the old ways in which you may have wanted to numb out, or your old ways in which you might have just wanted to handle what's coming up, I am finding within my community, and I am holding space right now for more people than I ever had imagined during a pandemic, at a time when riots are happening, and it's unprecedented. And, I'm a human, and I have to remind myself of that as well. I've never been in a launch during a time like this. I've never sat here and I'm like, okay, I'm selling something and there's how do I manage that? And I have all of these clients and all of these groups, and it's like I'm holding space for such a large container and also honoring that I'm going through this as well, right? So we're all being given a lot. And with that, we're all being given what we're able to handle. So my invitation to you is to not judge yourself and to turn down the volume on the voice of judgment on others, and most of all within yourself. When we're judging others, we're judging ourselves even more so. So we want to turn down the volume of judgment and we want to turn up the frequency of love. My invitation to you is to open up your heart to more people, to be in a space where instead of we're all being given, we all have an opportunity right now. Either you're going to operate from fear, which is what causes chaos. It's the chaos that's being ensued. It's the chaos that's being instilled by the lack of leadership, by the coronavirus, by the pandemic, by the uncertainty, by the media and the varying streams of media that we're all opening up to. And as I've said to you many times since the coronavirus has started, you get to control your environment. Your environment is your home, your body, your health, your thoughts, and your happiness. You get to control what that looks like. You get to control who comes into that and who comes out of it. You get to control the messages that you choose to listen to and where and how you choose to spend your day. Either it's going to be spent operating from that place, sitting there, arguing your point, making your right, like it's all the things, or you get to go, I get to choose to control my environment. I'm going to choose what I get to listen to. I'm going to choose how I want to operate this new terrain and what I want to make. And you get to open up. And my biggest invitation to you is open up to sisterhood, community, and to connection. Open up to what is available to you here. You have a community of like-minded women right here at your fingertips. You have a community of women that need you and need one another. So instead of turning towards isolation, which is what the perfectionist, what the controller, what the dieter, what the avoider, what the nurturer, and what the rebel wants to do, you want to turn inward and you want to make yourself wrong and you want to kind of control. And instead, my invitation is to you is to connect through love, not fear. Connect to one another and meet yourself with compassion and meet others with compassion. Control your environment and choose to operate from a place of love and possibility and positivity and opportunity of what is here for you. Because right now we are being given the opportunity and the gift to rewrite history and how we choose to operate within the world at large and within the world that we create for ourselves. We're being given that gift, and many, and I'm seeing this across the board in all of my groups with all of my clients, including myself, are being the gift of these really interesting experiences that are very similar to experiences that you've had earlier in your life, and you're being given the gift to rewrite them, to choose them from a higher space of consciousness and evolution within yourself. So my invitation for you is open your heart, open your mind, open up and get out of isolation and wanting to numb out, and choose connection. Choose to actually operate and ask yourself, what is it that I need underneath this? Instead of numbing out and instead of going into old ways of being, what can I choose to do for myself? How can I choose to go higher? What is it that I really need? How can I create safety in my circumstance? How can I create certainty in my circumstance? How can I create love in a space where I feel immense fear? Instead of sadness, how can I create joy and love with what I have around me? How can I surround myself with love? And how can I instead replace the voice of judgment and find that of fear, or find that of love within myself instead of operating from a fear consciousness? And how can I allow for the sadness, for the grieving, for the pain, for the fear to exist without it overtaking me? right? And so one of the things that I did that I shared with my community was I was feeling really angry. And I was sitting there and I was like, okay, I'm feeling really angry. What is it that I need? What is it that I need? And I know that we are energetic beings. I knew that my body needed to dance it out. My body needed to experience something other than what I was experiencing. I couldn't stay in the stagnation of what was brewing within me. So I turned on Alanis Morissette. I turned on Jagged Little Pill. It's what I was called to. And I just pulled my hair out of my bun and I just danced. And it was like an angry dance and it was a loud dance. And I allowed myself to scream out the lyrics with my beautiful, not so beautiful voice. And I just danced it out and I felt this movement, this thing come out of my being. And I allowed myself, and then I fell to my knees and I started crying, right? And I cried. And I cried and I cried and I cried. And then I needed to go to bed. And I slept 11 and a half hours. And then I got up this morning and out of nowhere, I had more tears. And I didn't sit there and go, what's wrong with me? I cried. And then you know what I did? Then I journaled. And then you know what I did? I said, I need to move again, but I need to move this time outside. And I took myself and I moved that energy throughout my body and I went for a run and I put on other music and I allowed my body to find the rhythm of the earth that I was feeling, of the world around me that I wanted to create. And as I was running, I allowed myself to release sadness and release more tears and allow a smile to emerge and to feel an energy move through my body. And I allowed myself to feel and I allowed myself to stop and cry and I allowed myself to start again and I allowed myself to walk for a bit and I allowed myself my emotions. What I didn't do was stuff them down. What I didn't do was turn to numb out. What I didn't do was lash out at another. What I didn't do was shut down. I felt, I allowed. I felt and I moved. I felt and I acknowledged. And that is how we allow ourselves to evolve in a space of love consciousness, as opposed to allowing fear to then go into, because when we allow the negative, it transcends and continues with more negative. When we do and feel bad things, we allow ourselves to continue to go down that road. Not when we do and feel bad things. When we think bad things, we go into that space and that consciousness. When we keep them in our heads, instead of allowing them to emerge out of us, we allow them to be what takes us over. Okay? So I really, really want you guys to understand this, and I want you to see how the act in which we want to just eat, to numb and to ground is not because there's something wrong with us or we need more willpower, we need more discipline, or oh my God, what's wrong with me and why can't I just do something right? It's really just a survival technique. And if you were a part of my Align at Your Ideal Body event this past weekend, you heard me talk about this at length. And I stream that in this group, and my invitation to all of you is to go and watch it. It is long. It was like 4 hours, and you can have it, and there's a beautiful guided meditation in there and so much more. And tomorrow I'll come back in and we will stream a meditation in here that we'll all do together in the morning to help to support you at this time and to remove the fear that as is and might be going through you, and to really open it to love and to the safety that is available to each and every one of you. So again, I invite you to keep your hearts open, to connect in here, to share the good that is going on for you, and to allow yourself to celebrate what's going on in your lives. And also, please, please share in this group what it is that you're experiencing, what it is that you're feeling, any sadness, anything that's going on in your world, right? No matter where you are in the world, it is so important. It is so important because all we have is each other. And ladies, we cannot keep going at this alone. You have to open up to one another and know that you are stronger together. We are stronger in community. And now is not the time to hide, and now is not the time to abandon yourself. I cannot say that enough. You have abandoned you so much in life. And that is what the dieter does. And when you find fault within yourself, you elicit that same fear onto others, and you elicit that judgment onto others. We need to find love within ourselves, and we need to share it and share ourselves in this loving compassion that is necessary. So please breathe. Share who you are. Share your gifts in this group. Share with one another and open up your love to one another, but most of all to yourselves. And take and really recognize the voice of judgment. You are not meant to go at life alone. You are not meant to only be strong for yourself. And strength does not come in isolation. It comes in community and in connection. And that is where you will find the compassion and the compassionate heart that you need to transcend and to move yourself further during this time. Please, please recognize that. So tomorrow morning, we're going to be doing a group meditation in here at what time? At 9 a.m. So I invite you all to be in here at 9 a.m. with me. And we will do a group meditation calling on safety, on love, divine guidance at this time. And we will be coming together in community. All right? So I love you all so much. I did not mean to be quiet in here. It's just my heart has been quite heavy. And as I've been in support and also navigating through this time and really wanting to be of that support for you as well. So I hope that the morning meditation will be very useful. Please invite in whoever you desire into this group. We'll approve them right away. And I just know that I love you very, very much. And I'm always protecting all of you in my heart and in my morning meditations, and calling on much love and just divine protection for you all. So I love you, and please share this video with anybody that you know can benefit. And I will see you all tomorrow morning. Much love.